When Ivan had set out on his journey from home in Tver, the weather hadn't become so harsh. The flint-gray skies foreshadowed a winter storm coming soon, but Ivan had expected to reach Moscow within a few hours. However, driving through the sleet-covered roads that had slowed him down, it wasn't long before the skies turned to a lifeless white as the snow began to fall. The winds began to howl, and the flogging squalls of winter blew loudly. Every time the screeching gusts of wind came to a stop, an unsettling silence haunted the land, leaving uncertainty of what was to come next. Ivan halted to a stop, unable to see anything that came in front of him or behind him. How am I going to get out of here? It's a blur outside. Nothing but white swirling snow could be seen from the car windows. He was stuck in a blizzard. There was no way to drive any further. The roads were blocked with heaping piles of snow, and the car wheels now spun in place. Ivan turned on the heater in his car and wiped the steam from the windows, looking out every now and then. Ivan searched his compartment and pulled out a bottle. I might sell the fake stuff, but I always keep a nice, genuine bottle for times like this. Heck, it's never not the time to have a sip. Ivan drank on, hoping it would keep him warm, till the weather cleared out. Unfortunately, hours had gone by. Ivan's fingers became sore and stiff, and the bottle now lay empty on the seat. Temperatures rapidly began to drop as the sun started to set. With no way to get out, nor any way to start a fire or eat food, Ivan began to fear the worst with the coming of the night. Puffing his hot breath onto his frozen hands, Ivan suddenly noticed light glowing out in the darkness of the night. He squinted his eyes, trying to focus. Could there be people over there? There was no point of sitting in here waiting for a slow end. Ivan opened the car door and stepped out. The piercing winds outside were enough to discourage anyone. But Ivan pulled his legs through the snow, covering his face from the winds as he walked towards the light. After much struggle, he felt relieved when he realized the light was coming from a cabin. In hope of rescue, he knocked on the door. A beautiful young woman opened the door and stared at him. She clutched onto her sweater as the cool breeze instantly made her cheeks and nose become rosy red. I'm Ivan. I was driving through here when my car got stuck. I've been out here all day. I hadn't noticed this cabin in all the snow. But when I saw the light, I came out to search for shelter. Would it be possible for me to stay here till the weather clears out? No, you can't stay here. This isn't a motel. We're not taking in visitors. You've walked this far. If you walk a little more, you'll find something else. Go from here. Hold on. You can see the situation outside. It's not possible to walk in this weather. That's not my problem, the young woman said as she tried to close the door. Ivan suddenly heard a voice from behind her. Who is it, Larissa? There's a man here, Uncle. He wants to stay. A middle-aged man came to the door. You go inside. I'll see the matter, he said as the young woman hurried off. Who are you? Do you need anything? May I stay here? You can see the weather outside. I've been stuck out here all day. Sure, come in. Looks like this blizzard isn't ending anytime soon, the man said, ushering Ivan inside. Looks like you've developed some frostbite. Don't worry, I have the perfect remedy for that. I'm Dr. Baranov, and this is my niece, Larissa. We actually came here for work, but got stuck here as well. Ivan sat down on the wooden chair by the fireplace as he looked around. This was a doctor's chamber. He could barely see a table and some equipment covered by a curtain to the other half of the cabin. Larissa, could you prepare some hot towels for the man? Dr. Baranov said as he poured a drink and brought it to Ivan. Enjoy. Nothing will warm you up like a shot of this. I'll get the hot towel. It should relieve the frostbite. Thank you, Ivan said, gulping it down all at once. As he warmed up, he could hear Larissa murmuring to her uncle behind the curtains. Uncle, we're stuck in here in this weather, and now we'll have to share our provisions with this stranger? Who knows how long till the blizzard ends? Larissa, don't be unreasonable. It's only a matter of a few days. Dr. Baranov came out and sat beside Ivan. It's very considerate of you to allow me to stay." No, I'm a doctor. It's my duty. How could I let you go? No one would survive in this weather." Ivan quickly peered a glance at Larissa, who was sitting on a stool by the window folding her arms. When she caught his gaze, she gave him an uninviting look and turned around. Luckily, it was night. Everyone would go off to bed soon. Dr. Baranov called Ivan to dinner. "I hope you like razolnik. Nothing beats a hot soup in the cold. Larissa, would you serve us?" "Sure, uncle." Larissa brought the pot to the table and served her uncle. She then simply pushed the pot to Ivan. "The ladle is hot," she scowled before sitting down to eat herself. Upon seeing Ivan's discomfort, Dr. Baranov went to serve him. "That's all right, I'll take it myself." After dinner, Ivan got cozy by the fireplace. "Ivan, we were really not prepared for this, but we're all trying to manage here. It's not much, but here's a blanket for the night." "That will be all right, doctor. My jacket will be good enough." "Then I'll take it, uncle. He doesn't need it," Larissa said, taking the blanket and walking off to the other side of the curtain. "Don't mind her. If you need a blanket, just let me know." No, I'll be fine." Ivan couldn't wait for this blizzard to end. He had no wish to stay here unwelcomed. After a stressful night, he woke up to the brightest light outside the window. The cabin was filled with the smell of warm coffee. "Good morning, Ivan. Come join us for breakfast." "Morning," Ivan said, wiping the steam off the window to look outside. "Oh, there's no way to get out of here. The snow is still pouring, and it's already stacked up a few feet high." Larissa roughly placed a bowl of kasha and coffee in front of Ivan. "It's getting cold," she said before she went back to sit by the window, scribbling something into her diary. Ivan sat by the fire to eat when Larissa came up to him with a pile of wood in her arms. "Can you move from here? Can't you see we have things to do?" Ivan put aside his bowl. "Yeah, just give me a moment." What was wrong with this girl? Why did she have to be so rude? Larissa dropped the wood into the fire and went off. "Your niece is quite friendly," Ivan chuckled. Dr. Baranov nodded. She actually doesn't like having visitors. She has a hard time trusting people. You see, her parents were killed by an intruder when she was only a child. It's been traumatizing for her." "Oh, I see. That's terrible." Ivan felt a little embarrassed for being judgmental. He tried to stay out of her way, but much of the day went by just sitting out watching the snow. "Looks like we've survived another cold day. The night is getting dark. Come on, Larissa. It's the perfect time to share a story." "I would rather sit and watch the night sky, uncle." "Don't be like this, Larissa. Come here. Let us three pass the time. Ivan, have you ever heard of the Wendigo?" "Actually, I've met many foreigners while doing business here." "It was a long time back. A man shared the legend of the Wendigo with me, a malevolent creature out in the harshness of the winter." "Yes, I always wondered why there weren't such folklore here in Russia, where the winters are so harsh. They say these creatures are out to eat flesh, though they have an insatiable hunger." The legend actually roots out from the fact that men have sometimes been overpowered by greed and the will to survive, resorting to even flesh of their loved ones. It's quite haunting considering we're in a similar situation. "Well, isn't it swell that we have food?" Dr. Baranov chuckled. "Let us have dinner and keep our fingers crossed for tomorrow." Ivan was feeling a little better after passing some good time with Dr. Baranov. However, Larissa was sitting there with a pout the whole time. That night, Dr. Baranov offered to cook roasted potatoes and meat. Ivan had been starving. The cold really sucked out all the energy even without doing anything. The meat and potatoes really worked miracles in keeping him warm. And surprisingly, Ivan fell sound asleep that night. But it was sometime in the middle of the night, He was disturbed by a strange noise. All of a sudden, he had trouble breathing. Ivan opened his eyes, horrified to see Dr. Baranov pressing a cloth to his mouth. His arms and legs had been tied. Ivan tried to yell out, but it wasn't before long. Everything started to go black. Ivan woke up with a strange numbness in his body. His vision was blurry, and there was a pain in the back of his head. Suddenly remembering the dreadful moments before he blacked out, Ivan jumped up. Where was he? He found himself sitting in a bathtub full of snow. The cabin was silent, empty. Where was Dr. Baranov and Larissa? They had fled. Ivan tried to pull out of the snow when he suddenly felt a piercing pain to the side of his stomach. He widened his eyes, seeing a cut that had been stitched up, and a piece of paper kept on the windowsill beside him. What did these people do to him? Darn, if it wasn't for the storm, Ivan would have never stayed with them. He opened the letter. This looked like a paper from Larissa's diary. It was a letter from her. I tried to warn you again and again. I told you to leave, but you didn't listen. Now see what has happened. I did what I could to save you from this, but you didn't pay heed to my warnings. My uncle is a doctor, but he isn't loyal to his profession. He's involved in a dark business. Last night, while you were unconscious, he performed surgery on you. But don't worry, you're still safe, sound, and healthy. My uncle, I know him. I've grown up in his care. He's not that bad. You still have one kidney. You can survive on that. The blizzard has subsided, and my uncle and I have to find a new place to settle since you found our location. I put snow in the tub to lessen the pain, and I left painkillers in your jacket pocket. If you walk 20 minutes north, you'll find a landline there. You can go and call for help. Take care and be careful. Click on the subscribe button and check out more awesome videos on our channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon because you know it's interesting.